The response to my last video on visually stunning fights was phenomenal. You showed up big time. One video couldn't capture all the epic battles, so here's part 2 for you. What's better than an anime with heart-pounding, eye-popping fights? Not much. Action anime shines brightest when its fight scenes are so breathtakingly animated they leave you in a daze. Without further ado, let's get into it. When it comes to an anime that's not only well animated but also has a great story, then Kaiju number 8 takes the cake. This brand new anime has been anticipated and is genuinely one of the best anime of 2024. It features a lot of visually stunning fights, but the one that's absolutely loved by the fans is the fight between Kafka and Director General Shinomiya. While the fight between Hoshino and Kafka was a good one, this particular fight took the cake for me. You see, Isao Shinomiya, the Director General of the Defense Force, is the kind of guy that you never want to encounter, especially if you're a kaiju. The man is a one-person apocalypse that would make you turn turtle. But our poor Kafka was confronted by him, and boy oh boy did he serve during the fight. Every move is animated with such precision that you can't help but be mesmerized by this one. The colors, the sounds, the action, oof. So if you haven't watched this spectacle yet, then what are you waiting for? Next up, we have an anime adapted from a really popular role-playing game, Tales of Zestiria. And you know what? This anime was animated by Ufotable, a name known for creating some of the greatest masterpieces in the history of anime. Talking about Tales of Zestiria, it's no short of some of the most stunning and visually appealing fights. Take for example, Sorei's fight with Helldalf. My boy spammed every move he knew like he was in an MMORPG. Oh yeah, he was in an MMORPG. This fight had a long-lasting impact on us because of the amazing artwork and fluid fight choreography. You're gonna get some serious Unlimited Blade Works vibes from this anime because, let's face it, the color palette, art style and CG are strikingly similar. I loved how Sorei was shining bright with colors while Helldalf was surrounded by darkness. There was a clear difference between good and evil. Ufotable definitely brought their A game with this one. Let's talk about one of the most underrated Chinese anime, The King's Avatar, that's full of visually stunning fights. Just like most Chinese anime, The King's Avatar's standout point is its out-of-this-world animation. The King's Avatar movie features some of the best fight scenes that you're ever going to see in any anime. You see, this movie is basically the backstory of Yi Shu, the MC, and the formation of the legendary esports team Excellent Era. The fight scene we're going to talk about is between the candidates wanting to get into the professional esports scene. Animated by the renowned colored pencil animation, the fight scene boasts high-quality animation. Each character is animated with such great detail and looks very different from the others, you might think they actually all walked out of different anime. It takes a lot of effort to animate a fight scene like that, and you get the idea that the studio had no shortage of funds to be able to animate such fluid moves. And what I absolutely love about this fight scene is the use of vibrant colors and lighting. It's just pure stunning. But tell me something, have you ever wondered what it would feel like to chat with your favourite character? Or better yet, your favourite waifu? Well, that and more could be possible with Poly AI. So imagine, you created a chatbot of Saber from Fate, and now you can ask her about her day, get some advice on how to get your own servant, or just joke around. If you're not into Saber, maybe you could ask Saitama just how he became so strong. It's like having a device that you can use to interact with the anime world itself. Not to mention, the app is super easy to use. Just add your character's looks, identity and relationship setting, and what's even more surprising is that they can have a voice too.
I am the CEO of this company.
And that's how I made and talked to Gojo from Jujutsu Kaisen.
Yeah,
But here's the best part. You can try it out too. In the description, you'll find a special link that will give you premium bonuses after you download the Poly app and use my code VINI8. To top things off, Poly AI is also available on Google Chrome, so you can use it anywhere and everywhere. Try Poly AI out now through the link in the descriptions and let me know which anime characters you created. When it comes to cutesy and charming characters who are just so lovable, Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid takes the cake. While the anime series isn't full of fight scenes like most of the action anime, the ones that it features are absolutely gorgeous. Take for example the encounter between Elma and Toru, which is the best fight in the entire series. It felt like the slice of life anime got a bigger budget than a moderate shonen one in the fighting arc. I can definitely see some extra effort being put into those jiggly assets. But let's talk about the insane level of high quality animation of this fight scene. It's just a visual treat to the eyes watching the smooth details of this scene. The action and fighting, the animation, the build-up of emotions, the voice acting, and the climax reveal why Elma wanted to fight. All these elements come together beautifully. I honestly believe this is one of the greatest anime scenes ever created.
ドラゴンの戦いは何度か見たことがあるけど、私もだいぶ慣れてきたのだろうか。
Ah yes, Studio Bones, the studio known for its high quality productions and top-notch animation. Sword of the Stranger is a very famous anime that comes under the umbrella of Studio Bones, and they didn't disappoint us with the quality. Among the many fight scenes in this anime, the final fight between Luo Lang and Nanashi has to be the best. What I absolutely love about this fight scene is that it doesn't baby you with slow-mo fights or blind you with flashy stuff. Imagine a perfectly paced, flawlessly choreographed and oh so smooth battle between two martial arts masters. I really appreciate the attention to detail in this scene. The way he warms his hand at the start, the little slips and skids and their controlled breathing. They didn't even use any special effects for the animation, yet they managed to make it a flawless fight scene. If you've seen a sword fight greater than this, then let me know in the comments. Moving on to another underrated anime, we have Wonder Egg Priority, a very bizarre anime focused on a bunch of high school girls. Now, you know it's going down when an anime only features a bunch of girls as protagonists fighting with their deep-rooted trauma. Pretty new concept, right? Apart from being fresh and new, Wonder Egg Priority features some of the most incredible fight scenes. The one that made it to our list is a fight between Ai, the protagonist, and the Invisible Monster. The not-so-invisible monster has an interesting design, I've got to say. What truly sets this fight scene apart is Ai's movements as she frantically tries to locate that invisible monster. I mean, who knew playing hide and seek with an invisible monster could be so exciting? Other than that, the fresh and vibrant colors just fill your heart with joy, making you forget the fact that Ai is up against a horrible monster. Have a breath of fresh air in the world of fantasy anime with Dungeon Meshi. Now, this anime doesn't just have a compelling storyline, but also has pleasant animation. Dungeon Meshi may not have as many fight scenes as your typical shonen anime, but the ones it does feature are absolutely out of this world. This battle is a prime example of peak animation that no one saw coming from Dungeon Meshi. It's like the animators decided to throw their entire budget on this one scene, and it shows. The absolute brutality of this fight scene gives me chills. Good thing the characters could be resurrected, otherwise it was just pure hunger and fear. Apart from the gorgeous animation, the least noticeable detail about this entire encounter was that Senshi literally just stood there the entire time holding the plate of Japanese food. Senshi watching Lyo's sister killing several people. No thoughts, just keep food safe to feed everyone. Blasting its way into the list is another Chinese anime with some of the most stunning fights. It was really hard for us to pick one, but then Xuan vs Final Form Wrath made it onto the list. No questions asked. Now, every single scene of this anime looks like it's hand-drawn. It's completely different from the other anime on the list because not only is the style unique, but it also has some of the best animations ever. The fight itself is gloriously free of any pesky dialogue, just pure, unadulterated carnage and power in every sense of the word. The sound effects are spot on, making each clash and explosion feel like it's happening right in your living room. The fight choreography, it's absolutely top tier. I'd be lying if I said I only watched these scenes a few times. The intricate details demand repeated views. You can practically feel every hit thanks to the high quality animation and background sound. To see such a masterpiece from just 6 people in a small studio is just insane. With a smash and some badass animation, My Hero Academia is a kind of shonen anime full of action scenes, each surpassing the previous one. The one fight scene that made it onto our list is between Deku and Overhaul. The electrifying battle will stay in your mind for days, I'm telling you. Deku looks absolutely charged up when he uses his full counting 100%. The energy crackles around him, making every punch and kick look like it could destroy an entire city. And then there's Overhaul, whose quirk gives the animators free rein to create some seriously twisted and nightmarish visuals. The fight choreography is just on another level. Every frame looks like a lot of care has been put into it. We expect nothing less from the animators of My Hero Academia. They never fail to deliver top tier, high quality animated fights that make you want to stand up and cheer, or maybe just rewind and watch it again and again and again. You get my point, don't you? This was truly the peak of My Hero Academia. Going to the world of gothic, blood-soaked vampires and demons, say hello to Castlevania. Trust me when I say Castlevania's animation is a feast for the eyes, especially the fight scenes. It'll make you feel like you've stepped into a dark fantasy novel, complete with all chills and thrills. Anyway, let's talk about the glorious fight scene between Belmont and Death. This Death isn't the fake Death, it's the actual Grim Reaper. During this fight, Trevor makes it clear to everyone why he's such a cool character. On the other hand, we see Death's terrifying godly levels of powers. The fight choreography is no short of stunning, as it makes us keep our eyes glued to the screen. One interesting detail about Death is that he sounds like someone who's worked in the same shitty workplace for 50 years. It might also be because he feels like other people are so beneath him that they don't even deserve politeness. Now I see why Death is such a badass opponent. This list would be incomplete without Jujutsu Kaisen, which is full of jaw-dropping fight scenes. The one that made it onto our list is the fight between Sukuna and Jogo. Now, this fight stands out from all the other fights featured in Jujutsu Kaisen. Why? Well, look at the animation style and tell me if I'm wrong. The fight scene surpasses all levels of insanity. There's this scene showing the temperature rising and you can practically feel the heat radiating from your screen. This fight scene depicted Sukuna's sinister elegance and Jogo's raw, volcanic rage perfectly. It's still surprising that this fight scene is getting hate from a lot of fans, you know? I mean, how else would any other be able to capture the true essence of this intense fight scene, if not this way? It matches perfectly with the manga art style, and that's what makes it unique. True fans know Sukuna vs Jogo is where it's at in the world of jaw-dropping fight scenes. Moving on to Naruto, an anime that's a powerhouse in the world of anime for many reasons. Apart from its compelling story and vast variety of characters, Naruto's animation has never failed to impress us. That one fight between Naruto and Sasuke not only rocked the Hidden Leaf village, but the anime fandoms everywhere as well. Yeah, Kakashi vs Obito is also a good one, but let's keep that one for the best emotionally stunning fights now, shall we? This fight gave us exactly what we wanted. A fight with no 18-minute flashbacks, just straight, pure fighting. Watching this fight for the first time is such a rewarding feeling, and if you're somebody who's watching it for the first time, consider yourself lucky. Studio Pierrot pulled out all the stops while animating this fight scene. Also, the visual effects take things up a notch and the camera angles pull you right into the action. This fight scene is one of the most legendary and visually stunning fight scenes out there. Over the years, Black Clover has been blessed with some of the most heart-pounding and gorgeous fights. Since we had to pick just one, we've picked the infamous Captains vs. Captains fight, and boy oh boy did they really let loose in this one. More like the animators let loose. The quality of this fight scene specifically is movie level good. What makes this even better is that all the captains showcase their powers and we finally get to see them duking it out with each other. Every power's captain is unique, which creates a really colourful scene on the battlefield. This diversity keeps the action fresh and also keeps us entertained throughout. Fluidity of animation makes each attack feel impactful and intense. All in all, this fight between the captains is the kind of fight that you love to revisit no matter how old it gets.
なんかの立ち来た天地怪人
Another one from the big three makes an entrance as Yamamoto vs Yuha is one of the most anticipated fight scenes that fans are dying to see. Now, throughout the history of Bleach, we've seen countless battles between different characters, but the one between Yamamoto and Yuha is just on another level. In this electrifying battle, we see both forces displaying their terrifying yet glorious powers. Their powers are like night and day, and when they collide, is pure chaos. Yamamoto using 100% of his powers was such a feast to watch. The sheer intensity and raw power radiating from his every move makes you sit up and pay attention. The highlight of that fight was Yamamoto bringing down the temperature for those flames to become visible. I mean, they were always there, but they burned so hot that nobody could perceive them. That scene was just majestic. This is, again, a masterpiece created by Studio Pierrot that will go down with the generations. It's really left its mark in anime history, showing why Bleach is still loved by fans all over the world. Talking about an anime that's left its mark in history, we have another anime that's absolutely loved by fans, the Fate series. Animated by the great Ufotable, the Fate series is known for its stunning animation and jaw-dropping fight scenes. According to some fans, this franchise was treated like Ufotable's favourite child and got more spoilt than the rest. This is literally the peak of Ufotable. The amount of effort going into its animation here is just astonishing. Talking about the epic clash between Saber, Alter and Rider, we get to see both of them showcasing their glorious powers right before our eyes, blessing them with the sickest animation ever. I gotta add one thing though, Medusa's skirt was ranked S+. It just defies the laws of clothing physics. It's just so hard to keep your eyes away from the screen while the two beauties are duking it out. We've been searching for gold, but we got diamonds instead. Absolutely stunning. Coming in with a relatively new anime now. Let's talk about Frieren Beyond Journey's End and why it's so loved by its fans. The answer is not quite simple. This anime not only has a unique storyline, but it also has a set of some of the most lovable and diverse characters, as well as the most pleasant and detailed animation. Apart from the one fight when Frieren fought with her clone, the absolutely astonishing one is the fight between Fern and Stark and the two demons, Lugna and Linny. Now, this anime is not entirely action-packed, but when there's action, they just make sure to absolutely cook it. This fight's visuals are top-notch, and I absolutely love that lightning strike detail. If you pay attention, Stark swings faster than the speed of sound, which we hear a few seconds after. To be honest, I didn't expect Frieren to have god-tier animation with its fight scenes. The attention to detail in this fight scene is insane, and we absolutely love it. Right now, we have another anime that this list is incomplete without. Yes, I'm talking about One Punch Man, which features some of the most heart-pounding battles known to history. The one that we personally love is a friendly fight between Genos and his mentor Saitama. To be honest, Saitama literally says anything and it turns into words of wisdom for Genos. Anyway, talking about the visuals of this fight, it is off the charts. I don't know how the artist managed to create such a convincing portrayal of death being launched at you from just a single punch. Saitama is just too overpowered, and the fight scenes he's featured in are absolutely gorgeous. Everyone's gangster till Saitama has those shadows on his face. Saitama's strength is also directly connected to the budget for his eyes. Saitama was so fast that Genos ended up fighting his afterimage only. That's a new level of god tier. This is one of the moments when Genos realized that he was just a side character.
腹減った。飯だ飯。うどん食いに行こうぜ。Moving on to One Piece and that one iconic fight between Law and Blackbeard. Now, throughout the history of One Piece, we've witnessed countless epic battles, but as the series progresses, the fights become so flashy and over the top. I mean, I'm not complaining at all, because these are the kind of fights that leave a lasting impression on you. Toei Animation turned this fight into a cinematic masterpiece. This fight scene has the best choreography and pacing, which makes this fight one of our top picks. And the sheer scale of the destruction that this fight caused, it was absolutely terrifying. Blackbeard's dark power is shown with swirling shadows and consuming voids, while its quake powers cause cracks and ripples through the environment, adding to the visual spectacle. On the other hand, the way Law's room glows and expands, creating a spherical area where his abilities reign supreme, is beautifully animated. In conclusion, this fight is one of the most top-tier fights in the entirety of One Piece that didn't involve our Straw Hat Pirates. I know Mushoku Tensei's latest season might have started off slow, but it more than made up for it with one of the best fights ever featured in the anime. The battle between the horrifying Hydra and Paul's party is a visual feast for the eyes, thanks to its fluid choreography and the smooth movements of the characters. Paul, Rudius, and their friends face off against the formidable Hydra. The stakes were sky high, and our heroes had to throw everything they had into the fight to save Zenith from the Hydra's clutches. This fight is particularly notable for its animation quality. The animators went above and beyond, delivering a dynamic and fast-paced sequence that's hard to take your eyes off. The way the characters move and interact with the Hydra is seamless and smooth, making the urgency of the battle very clear. This is easily one of the best fights in the history of Mushoku Tensei.
小さなくすぶりが巨大なる恵みを焼き尽くさフレイムスロー
According to a lot of fans, this fight from Demon Slayer is the best to date. The way our screen lights up as the two forces clash is just astonishing. The sound Hashira moves with the speed of sound, and it's very hard to keep up with his movements. The bursts of sound and light make its techniques even more impressive and eye-catching. On the other hand, Gyutaro is not coming slowly, as he was able to injure our hero gravely. Ufotable really crushed this specific fight scene, and it left a lasting impact on us. It literally sent shivers down our spines because of the suspense. One moment Tengen was overpowering
destroying Gyotaro, and the next thing we know, Gyotaro was already on top. The animators' efforts truly shine through, making this battle a standout moment in the series. And with that, we're wrapping up part 2 of the top 20 visually stunning fights in anime. As always though, do let us know your top visually stunning fights, and if you like this video, make sure you check out part 1. Don't forget to check out Poly AI through the link in the description. Thank you for sticking around and see you next time.